It looked small. It looked harmless. A tiny black bean, hiding inside a red berry. But this simple thing changed history forever. Kings feared it. Priests called it evil. One ruler even believed it could destroy his entire kingdom. People were beaten for drinking it. Some were killed, simply for holding one small cup. Entire cities burned it in the streets, like a dangerous poison. Empires tried to erase it, completely, again and again. Today, you drink it without thinking twice. You order it, you forget it. You move on with your day. You never imagine that someone once died for the very same cup. But once, this drink was a crime. A secret. A quiet rebellion, hidden inside a cup. How did something so small become so dangerous? Why did powerful men fear a simple, bitter drink? Why did kings burn it? Why did priests curse it? Why did entire empires try and fail to destroy it forever? Stay with me until the very end. This story will surprise you. By the end, your morning coffee will never feel the same again. Let us go back to the very beginning. Back to a quiet mountain, far away from kings and empires. Before this story began, mornings were slow, very slow. People woke up tired. They worked tired. They lived tired. There was no spark to wake the body, no fire to wake the mind. Life moved at the speed of exhaustion. Then, high in the mountains of Ethiopia, something strange happened. A young goat herder named Kaldi noticed his goats behaving oddly. They did not rest. They jumped. They danced. They ran with wild, strange energy. Kaldi watched them closely, confused by what he saw. He found small red berries growing near a strange green bush. His goats had eaten them. Curious, he decided to taste one himself. It was bitter, very bitter. But something inside his body felt different. Sharper, lighter, awake. He carried the berries to a monk who lived nearby, high on the mountain. The monk was always exhausted, his body heavy with endless duty. He prayed through the night, every single night, fighting endless sleep. His eyes were heavy, his hands trembled from lack of rest. He made a drink from the berries and tried it slowly. Suddenly, his tired eyes opened wide. His mind became clear, sharp, and calm. For the first time in years, he did not feel weak. He called it a gift from heaven. Other monks heard the story and wanted to try it too. Soon, every monastery in the region was boiling these strange berries. Soon, this strange new drink began traveling far beyond the mountains. But everything changed once it reached the wider world. Coffee crossed the Red Sea into Yemen, carried by traders and pilgrims. There, it grew into something much bigger than a simple drink. People gathered in small rooms every evening to share it together. They talked, they debated, they questioned the world around them. They discussed things that had never been discussed so openly before. These rooms earned a powerful nickname across the region. Schools of the Wise, people called them. Poets read their poems there. Musicians played soft, gentle music. Merchants closed important deals over one small steaming cup. Travelers shared stories from distant lands over the same warm drink. But not everyone welcomed this strange new freedom. Leaders watched these gatherings with growing suspicion and fear. People were thinking too freely, speaking too openly, questioning too much. And free thought has always frightened those who hold power. No one expected what would happen next. In the year 1511, fear finally turned into action. A leader in the holy city of Mecca tasted coffee for the first time. He did not enjoy it. He feared it deeply. He believed this drink filled people's minds with dangerous, rebellious ideas. That very night, he gathered his advisors together in secret. He asked them a simple, quiet question. Is this drink evil? Should it be destroyed? No one dared to disagree with a powerful man. One by one, they nodded their heads in silence. And so, coffee was officially banned across the entire city. Coffee houses were shut down immediately, their doors sealed shut. Bags of coffee were dragged into the streets and burned. People caught drinking it were punished harshly and publicly. Some lost their freedom, locked away in dark prisons. Some lost their lives, simply for holding a warm cup. Can you imagine that? Punished for something you drink every single morning without thinking. Locked away, simply for sitting quietly with friends over a warm cup. But few people saw what happened next. Word of the ban reached the Sultan of the mighty Ottoman Empire, and the Sultan loved coffee himself, deeply and personally. He was furious that one man had made this decision alone. He summoned the man to the palace without delay. Instead of punishing coffee drinkers, he punished the man who banned it. Coffee returned to the streets of Mecca, stronger than ever before. The coffee houses reopened their doors, louder and busier than ever. But this was only the beginning of its long, difficult journey. For hundreds of years, Arabia guarded coffee like a hidden treasure. No living coffee plant was allowed to leave Arabian soil, none at all. Beans could be sold, but only after they were boiled or roasted. This way, no other land could ever grow coffee of its own. But one man decided to break this ancient, powerful rule. A pilgrim named Baba Budan traveled to Mecca on a holy journey. While there, he secretly gathered 7 raw, unroasted coffee seeds. He hid them carefully, taped tightly against his own beating chest. If guards had found them, he would have been killed instantly. Could you risk your life for just 7 tiny seeds? He crossed mountains and dangerous borders, walking for many exhausting days. Finally, he reached the quiet hills of southern India, tired but triumphant. There, he planted his 7 stolen seeds in the rich, dark soil. Those 7 seeds grew into an entire new coffee empire. Arabia's ancient secret was broken forever by one brave, quiet act. Coffee traveled onward, toward the distant shores of Europe. It arrived quietly, carried by sailors, traders, and curious merchants. And once again, fear followed it like a long, dark shadow. Priests in Europe looked at this dark drink with deep suspicion. They called it the bitter invention of Satan himself. They believed only wine belonged in a good Christian's cup. They asked the Pope to ban this strange foreign drink completely. The Pope agreed to consider their fearful request carefully, but before deciding, he wanted to taste it himself, quietly, alone. He lifted the small cup slowly, studying the dark liquid inside. He took one small sip, then another. Then he smiled. "This drink is delicious," he said softly to the priests around him. "It would be a shame to let only sinners enjoy such pleasure. Let us baptize it and defeat the devil with his own weapon." With those simple words, coffee was saved from destruction forever. Coffee first arrived in Italy through the busy port of Venice. Merchants brought strange, dark sacks from distant Ottoman lands. At first, ordinary people did not know what to do with these beans. Slowly, curious traders began roasting them and selling the dark drink. Small coffee shops opened near the busy Venetian docks and markets. Soon, the whole city was talking about this strange new taste. From Venice, coffee traveled onward to France, carried by eager merchants. In Paris, wealthy nobles were the first to fall in love with it. They served it in delicate cups at elegant evening gatherings. Soon, ordinary citizens wanted to taste this fashionable new drink too. Small coffee houses began appearing on quiet Parisian street corners. People sat for hours, reading newspapers and discussing new ideas. Coffee houses began opening across Europe, one city at a time. Meanwhile, another dramatic coffee story was quietly unfolding, far to the east. In 1683, a massive Ottoman army surrounded the city of Vienna. The city was terrified. Supplies were running low. Hope was slowly fading. After many long weeks of siege, the Ottoman army was finally defeated. As they fled in a hurry, they left behind hundreds of heavy sacks. Nobody in Vienna knew what these strange, mysterious sacks contained. Some people believed the sacks held camel food and wanted to burn them. But one clever man named Franz Kolschitsky recognized the dark, unusual beans. He had lived among the Ottomans before, and he knew their hidden value. He asked the city council for the sacks as his personal reward. They agreed happily, believing they were giving away something worthless. Kolschitsky used those beans to open one of Vienna's very first coffee houses. He even added something new to soften the bitter taste: milk and sugar. This new, sweeter style of coffee became wildly popular across the city. From one abandoned war, an entire new coffee culture was quietly born. But the hardest part of this long journey was still to come. Part 4. The Turning Point. In 1675, a brand new threat appeared. This time, in England. King Charles II watched coffee houses spread across London like fire. Inside these crowded rooms, ordinary people freely criticized their own king. For just one small coin, anyone at all could enter and listen. These coffee houses earned a clever nickname among ordinary Londoners. People called them penny universities because knowledge cost only 1 penny. A poor worker could sit beside a wealthy, powerful lord. Ideas moved freely here, without regard for class or title. Science, news, politics, all discussed openly over one single cup. Scientists shared new discoveries long before books were ever printed. Writers read their newest poems aloud to curious, attentive strangers. Business deals were made quietly, over the steam of a warm cup. For a king who wanted total, unquestioned control, this felt dangerous. So he made a bold, shocking decision. He ordered every coffee house in London to close immediately. He called them dangerous places, full of false and malicious reports. A date was set. Coffee's freedom would soon come to an end. But something completely unexpected happened across the entire city. The ordinary people refused to accept this order quietly. What would you have done if your freedom was suddenly taken away? Merchants protested loudly. Citizens complained bitterly. Anger spread through London like fire. Shop owners said this ban would destroy their entire livelihood. Writers said this ban would silence important, necessary conversations. The pressure grew heavier and heavier with each passing day. Just 11 days later, the king reversed his harsh decision completely. Coffee had survived once again, against all the odds. This was the moment that revealed something truly powerful. Coffee was never really the true problem here. Coffee was only ever a symbol of freedom, a symbol of people gathering, thinking, and speaking without fear. Think carefully about this for one quiet moment. Ethiopia, Mecca, Rome, London, Vienna. Empire after empire tried to silence one small, simple bean. And every single time, somehow, it survived. Could you imagine an idea that no ruler could ever destroy? Could you imagine a simple cup, strong enough to outlast kings. Coffee was never just a drink to be enjoyed quietly. It was a spark that simply refused to go out. It was proof that small things can outlive even the mightiest thrones. Part 5. The Legacy. Today, coffee belongs to the entire world, without exception. More than 2 billion cups are shared around the globe every single day. From quiet villages to enormous cities, coffee connects millions of strangers. No king can ban it now. No law can silence it now. No army can burn away something the whole world has embraced. But maybe coffee's greatest gift was never truly the drink itself. Maybe its real gift was always what happened around the cup. Friends talking quietly. Strangers connecting unexpectedly. Ideas growing slowly. Every morning. Meetings begin with it. Friendships grow around it. Long conversations flow through it. Just like coffee, your English is also growing right now. Slowly. Quietly. One new word at a time. Nobody can ban your learning. Nobody can ever take away what you are building inside your mind. Every new word you learn is like one small coffee bean. Alone, it feels tiny and unimportant. But together, these small beans build something truly powerful. They build confidence. They build understanding. They build a brand new voice. One story at a time. Think of every lesson as one more seed planted quietly inside you. Given enough time, those seeds always grow into something remarkable. A single lesson may feel small today, just like one tiny bean. But months from now, those small lessons will build fluent, confident sentences. So, the next time you drink a warm cup of coffee, remember this story. Remember the goats dancing on a quiet Ethiopian hillside long ago. Remember the tired monk who found new strength inside a bitter cup. Remember Baba Budan, hiding seeds against his own beating heart. Remember Kolshitsky, turning abandoned war sacks into a beloved tradition. Remember the ordinary people of London, who simply refused to stay silent. None of them felt like heroes at the time. They simply chose not to stop, even when it was difficult. History is full of small things that quietly changed the entire world. A single bean, a single word, one quiet act of courage. And maybe, just maybe, you are one of those small things too. You are learning, one word at a time, one story at a time, and every single story moves you gently forward. Keep showing up, even on the days that feel slow. Keep listening, even when the words feel difficult. Keep speaking, even when your voice feels unsure. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, keep growing, one small cup at a time.